Can you clarify the Tower of Babel and its purpose? I'm reading Genesis this month to understand truth this year. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're in that book. So the reason why he did what he did with the Tower of Babel, he actually tells us. But to recap, so the people of the earth all had one language. This was after the flood. They were all descendants of Noah, just as we all are. And they built this city and they built a tower that supposedly was to reach up to heaven. Well, the tower itself was never completed because God stopped them. In fact, he says in Genesis 11, 6 through 7, that they're one people having one language, and that this is only the beginning of what they will do, and that nothing they propose to do will be impossible for them. What we have to understand is when God strikes things with calamity, when God strikes people with calamity, it's always for a good reason. Back in the garden, he kept Adam and Eve from the tree of life because they had sin. If they were able to eat from the tree of life in their sinful condition, they would have remained sinful for eternity instead of having the opportunity to be redeemed and cleansed of their sin. And something similar here. If the world acts as one, we will accomplish unspeakable evil. Scrambling our languages was an attempt to prolong the age of grace, the time that God has allotted for us to choose him. Because once the world gets on the same page as we read in Revelation, it's going to focus itself on unspeakable evil. That's how you end up with the Antichrist. That's how you end up with the mark of the beast. That's how you end up with the image of the beast and all those scary things. Because the world wants to reject God and treat itself as God. So what God was doing was buying time for humanity so that Jesus could come and pay the price that needed to be paid, so that those who would receive him would not perish.